According to his diary, this bloke couldn't put down his dogs even after he knew them to be infected.
Who could bear to harm his best friends, especially when they only showed signs but no symptoms of turning?
They are only innocent beasts after all, and appear to pose no threat of harm.
Those dead dogs don't find me. They must know I'm missing. Where is the Legion? Gods, I hope those dead dogs don't find me. Mercy me, it walks, but it's not dead. I wasn't entirely certain I'd ever meet anyone any more fitting that description. The name's Wolfram, and it's a delight to make your acquaintance. Good to see, by the by, you don't belong to the Legion. 10 of their number accompanied me on a fact-finding mission to an ancient burial mound. But, as it turns out, they stood a snowflake's chance in hell against the undead. Not that I reckon my chance is any higher, though, especially with that vicious undead mutt prowling the grounds round this here ruin. I'd go so far as to say I'm in dire need of an armed escort back to the city, as a matter of fact. I'm an archaeologist and connoisseur of the undead. Because of my expertise, Lieutenant Selenia, a commander of the Legion in Sicile, wanted me to investigate the ancient burial mound just outside of town, hoping to uncover the source of the zombie plague. No such luck, though. Quite so. I live for the dead, so to speak. The combination of archaeology and a case of incidental necromantic magic is what sparked my interest in the field. Of course, I'll be glad to share what knowledge I have obtained over the years. Zombies are the results of vile necromancy in action. Among the resurrected dead, there are those who used to be wizards, and they can cast spells still. They slay their prey and bring them back as deathless thralls that fester with the diseases of decay. Should you encounter these menaces, always try to pick them off from afar. Don't let them get close, or they'll riddle you with the poisons and the blight that afflict them. These ones in particular, the ones around Sicile, are the resurrected soldiers of Brachus, the last and most infamous in the line of sorcerer kings. He himself is supposed to be buried somewhere around here, but no one knows where the actual grave is. Long have I searched, and deep have I dug, but so far I haven't found anything more spectacular than rusted weaponry and shards of pottery. Be that as it may, Brachus's soldiers stalk these lands anew, and they still fight like veterans. I told those fools of legionnaires to bring maces instead of swords. You know, weapons that crush these skeleton bones, not blades that may ricochet right off. Hell, even a sturdy branch would do the job better. But they didn't listen, and now they're dead. Oh, and don't be surprised if the dead use an unusual amount of magic against you. These soldiers were loyal to a sorcerer king, after all. Dark magic all around. I'll never make it back to Sicile alone. But you've gotten this far. You can bring me back, can't you?
We certainly can. Let's be off.
Indeed. Don't you worry. We'll keep you safe.
Marvellous. Mighty fine of you. Lead the way, I say.
Wargraf is all resolved now that a rescue mission is underway. Like a knight protector, he stands by the stranded archaeologist's side.
The pickpocket fancies himself a paladin. Let's see how well you fare on your noble quest, for the dead don't make the distinction.
Please! Crush these fiends before they crush me! Take that, you undead vermin!
Divine light!
under attack! Another one bites the puddle it fell in. You did it! We made it! Oh, cheers for escorting me to safety. You're a godsend, you are. I'll be in the King Crab clearing the dust from my throat. The drinks are on me if you'd like to partake.
May I remind you that saving the lives of simpletons isn't worth an iota of our time. There are demons out there. Nothing else matters. By Parbatha's silver talons must we linger so? An idle brain is a demon's workshop, hunter. I can tell you if you wish, but you'd have to listen to the tale of my life, because my future, such as it is rooted deeply into my history. Yes, let's get this over with. Once upon a time, I was a king in a land of beauty to the east. A land of tigers and slender towers, of deserts and forests, of sun and all the world's wealth. I was a young king, handsome and all-powerful. Every nobleman would have killed his own brother if I promised to take his daughter's hand in marriage. But I refused their incessant implorations. I knew my life as a sovereign would be self-indulgent, but also a self-delusory one. If I weren't... And so a handful of years went by. The king's throne I myself occupied, whereas the queen's throne remained empty but for the court's cats that would nap the afternoons away upon its velvet cushions. But then one day, a young woman visited my kingdom. She was a poetess and a storyteller. People flocked to her, listened to her every word as if receiving mantras from the divines. I invited her to my palace, and soon our days, our nights, our love and our lives intertwined. Hiraka. How I miss her still. Miss the brilliance of her mind that was both as sparkling and as unbreakable as the diamonds that adorned her body. Oh, and how I miss her body. 1,000 artists I could have commanded, show me beauty. But she would have effortlessly surpassed their every endeavor, and curving her lips into a smile, make them break their sculptures in tearful impotence. And yet, true happiness, that commodity more precious and even more fleeting than the dominion of kings, sang to us like the nightingale, only to depart come the dawn of our first year's unity. A malady overtook me, and I began to wither. It was an unparalleled horror. Scores of physicians flocked to my bedside. They traveled from realms across the seas, hoping to cure the mighty Jehan, undo the gloom that had befallen the land, and mere vultures that they were, to be paid handsomely for their efforts. But none of their potions took effect. Their salves seared, but did not soothe my fading flesh. Like a ghoul I looked, unburied yet risen from the grave. In futile anger I struck my mirror, but broke my brittle fingers only, not its ever-mocking surface. That, Hunter, is a tale for later. I realize I haven't answered your initial question yet. Why it is that I chase time like a lioness its prey. But we'll get to that part later, should time permit. And so let the hunt continue.
Who would have thought it? Jehan, an all-powerful king, stricken by a horrid plague, the memory of which plagues him still.
He's all right now, isn't he? Methinks I spy a hypochondriac.
Have a little sympathy. The higher your station, the deeper you may fall. He may live, but clearly Jehan is a king no longer.